Hello, everyone, and welcome to Privateer Press Primecast, your only official place for all things Privateer Press, where we do it live. I'm your host, Will Schick. I'm here with my co-host, Will Hungerford.
Oh, one last time.
That's right. All right.
I'm savoring the moment. You go ahead.
Yeah, savor the moment. One more time?
One more time.
I don't want to do it one more time. That's all you get. You just get one. Tony knows. Tony's aware. One take Schick remains true to this day. I have never done anything more than in one take.
For those of you watching and who have missed the announcement, today is Will Schick's last day. After a decade of service.
A decade of service, it is time for me to pack up and move on to the next big thing. So
You are the man that hired me in the Privateer Press.
I think everyone except for Doug, I had some hand in hiring on this show at this point.
So Schick has been a personal mentor to me and a ton of other people and has been a force of nature in this industry, and I'm super excited to see whatever you do next. But for everybody in chat, press F to pay respects.
Yes.
For the next hour of Primecast, I better see F spammed in there.
Oh my. Oh my.
Cheers.
So much Fs.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? So we're going to go over the new releases like usual.
Yep.
We're going to bring on the other Wills.
Yeah.
For the struggle of Wills.
Thank you, chat.
Oh, there we go. Look
Thank
at
you.
so many Fs. And then we're going to bring on Doug Seacat for Seacat Speaks. He's going to talk about whatever Doug talks about. We never know. My Lord, stop with you're going to run out of the Fs.
Nope.
And then we're going to bring on our new convention manager, John Swankles.
Yes.
Man behind the camera, now in front of the camera. He's going to come on. He's going to talk about the conventions that are coming up.
Yep.
And then we're going to roll this out and call it a close.
Before we
for
get
episode ?
Episode December 7th, 2018.
There you go. There you go.
Before we get into the new releases coming out in December, let's just take this page and flip over for a second.
Done.
We announced a ton of stuff yesterday.
We did, yeah.
We announced a ton of really, really awesome things.
Like there was a whole year worth of stuff.
Yeah, if you haven't gone, go to privateerpress.com, check out Matt Wilson's Insider, which is the 2019 preview, where you get to see your first look at like Infernal models. You get to hear more about Riot Quest. You get to hear more about the new big campaign book we're going to be putting out called Oblivion, which is going to have a ton of new stuff for War Machine and even the way you play War Machine. It was packed full.
Yeah, it was a very meaty insider.
What was your favorite thing announced in that?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, I'm pretty excited. You got to fix your mic, man.
I got to fix my mic. John,
you're the worst.
You're
the worst. You got to put it on the other side.
Put my mic on the other side.
This is why you're not one take Hungerford.
I'm never one take.
You can't even get your mic on the right side. I think my, one of the things that I'm really excited about is the fact that Monster Apocalypse is going to be seeing some brand new monsters that aren't faction specific anymore.
Yeah.
And that one of them is going to be moles and one of them is going to be squidopus arms, which is what I like to call Mr. Krakenoctus. But I really like those. Oz and I talked a lot about that at the start and how it's kind of the next progression for Monster Apocalypse and that idea that you're playing an agenda and not necessarily a faction. So we get to do a lot of fun, like guest stars, if you will.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Obviously, I'm thrilled to see what happens with Infernals, with Oblivion, like as a guy who obviously has been playing War Machine for 13 years or something like that now.
It's been a minute.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what comes up next, and I have obviously kept my nose out of everything so far because I kind of want to be surprised.
Sure.
So I have very little idea of what actually is going to be happening, and I'm excited to open the book and get to see it for the first time, like everybody out there again.
Yeah. I saw a question in chat real fast that I want to talk about. Two things I'm excited about is Oblivion, and somebody asked, is Oblivion Mark IV? Is it basically going to be War Machine Mark IV? No. Oblivion's going to be huge. It's going to have new ways to play War Machine. It's going to have this great narrative campaign you'll be able to participate in. It's really going to add a layer of War Machine that we haven't seen in quite some time since, I don't think we've ever had a full-on just campaign book. There's escalation.
My feelings on everything that I've heard has been that it's definitely going to feel very escalation-y.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have this big narrative campaign. It's going to be interwoven with missions, all that good stuff. I think it's definitely going to be a must-have for anyone who wants to play War Machine outside of like a steamroller event.
Oh, it's absolutely a must-have.
So
it's as much
a
must-have as things like Steamroller. And then the other big news, obviously for me, Riot Quest, we finally kind of announced to everybody that all the models in Riot Quest will also be fully usable in War Machine and Hordes, and they're all new models. These are not like mini crate style resculpts. Tony, what are you doing? What is happening?
Did you really need to crawl like that, Tony? Like, I feel like you were trying really hard, and then
Tony.
Well, so much for this one going out on a high note.
No, you already knew how this was going.
I did. It was going to be Tony Konachek on his hands and knees, crawling across
the floor and then touching me.
Like some sad tiger panther. Just, what are you doing, Tony?
Tony, is this what we can expect? Oh, God. Riot Quest, all the models, fully playable in War Machine and Horde. So things like the Pig Tank, which we didn't say their official name, so...
I'd just say it.
Sure.
Does it matter?
Leadfoot and Treads, the Steel Creel. But it's just Leadfoot and Treads is their official name. Like, they're going to be playable in War Machine and Horde, so are all the other models as well. So it's going to be really exciting. Plus, we're going to show more and more about Riot Quest, the game. Brand new game, ton of models, ton of support coming for it. And it's going to be a very fun, like, 30, 40-minute, like, chaos skirmish game is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, so all of that stuff, more information will be coming in future Primecasts. Like, we're getting tons of questions. We obviously can't answer all of those currently right now, but you just watch. New Year's going to start. You're going to start seeing a lot more stuff, and it's going to be coming fast and furious.
Cheesebeard asked real fast, the right question, are they playable as alt sculpts or new rules? Just to reiterate, they're all new rules. Like, the Eris you saw is Eris 4. She has all new rules. The Boom Howler you've seen with the chain gun is Boom Howler 2. And then there's a whole host of new characters.
All right, so let's talk really quick about new releases for this month.
Keep pressing F, chat.
We've got, stop pressing F, chat. We've got a bunch of Monster Apocalypse stuff. We've got the Martians coming out. We've got the Pterosaurs coming out. Yeah. And we've also got a number of Ravager, Tharn Ravager releases.
Yeah.
Tharn releases. Brigade and Call, the Tharn Theme Box, Iona, Bloodweaver Haruspex. Very excited for all that stuff.
I'm really excited about Ares Mothership and the Saucers. Like, I'm a main Martian player in Monpok, and so finally getting Ares, and I'm waiting for, of course, Demos 9 to come out. But now, like, they got the set that's 4 Vanguards and 1 Hunter, which is going to be, I think, like a super popular set because, like, that's the real core. And then the other set, of course, is going to be 2 Saucers, 2 Power Pods, and 1 Hunter.
I mean, that's definitely the one you want to double up on if you're playing Martians. You want Saucers and you want Power Pods.
I love Vanguards, man. I love Vanguards. I think you're probably going to want to buy, like, 2 of each blister to start and then go from there.
I mean, if you're only playing Martians, sure.
I
feel like them's options right there.
I know. It does.
See, I like to mix and match all of my chocolates and peanut butters, so.
I'll add an Explodohawk in every Destroyer's list, but like I'm mainly Martians.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming out. My favorite, Frustrated Locust, is coming out.
Frustrated
Locust?
Yeah,
that's what I've called it since day one, and I will stick with that till the day I die. It's the Frustrated Locust.
The Frustrum Locust, for those of you keeping count.
Yes, the Frustrum Locust.
Yeah.
For Convergence is also coming out alongside all of the Tharn stuff. So check those out. You've got all the Monster Apocalypse stuff December 14th, and then you've got the rest of it December 21st.
Yep.
And apparently we have a pig that's joined us.
Pagani has brought Hamilton, which is...
we got Hamilton,
Matt gets his son with him and is making the piggy noises.
All right. Well, there we go.
So intros aside, I hear the wills back there.
Let's move to the struggle of wills before it becomes a struggle in the backfield.
Yeah.
So come on up, boys. Somebody's going to get on camera and somebody's going to get on the mic in the back.
There were no drums.
We don't have drums anymore.
There are no drums anymore.
It's a drumless ceremony today.
Hey, everyone.
For it being, the final Primecast of...
We are joined...
Both of us? Yeah.
Yeah, this is your final part. We're joined by Will Pagani and Oz. You were on the mic back there.
I'm back here.
Pagani's last week is next week. So by the way, chat, I saw the Fs stop. We've got double Fs now, so hit me with the double Fs in chat. F to pay respects.
Or am I hiding behind a green sheet?
I know, that's the question, right? Nobody would
guys.
know. I told them like my idea was to get a green like suit and slowly start to put it on over the course of the show.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't have hands and then I'd lose my arm and stuff. But then I thought we were going to make this professional, and so I was like, I shouldn't do that because this is a professional broadcast. And then Tony decides to crawl across the floor like some 80s like rock girl in a music video for Van Halen.
I don't know if it was
and all of a sudden I was like, maybe I should have just brought the green suit because how could it get any worse? Lita Ford.
Or Ozzy.
Sure.
I think it was very cat-like. Graceful.
No, it wasn't.
No, there was nothing graceful about what Tony did.
I mean, maybe like a drunk cat.
No.
What are we talking about today, struggle-wise?
Yeah.
What's our last struggle?
We could go real dark here. But we're not going to do that.
I don't know. I'm asking. What's our struggle?
Yeah.
Oz, take control of the situation.
I got nothing.
No one has any struggles?
We've never struggled ever.
We're struggling right now.
All right.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I mean, we are struggling to find struggles. And the rails we are often, Travis. That's true. Where we're going, we don't need rails.
Yeah, haven't you guys seen the rail list? Come on.
So we were talking about the major announcements that we did yesterday, and for us in development, obviously we have our hands on a lot of those, and one of the big ones that we've all been messing with have been the Infernals. So Oz,
Yes.
regarding the Infernals, what's got you most excited about them coming out soon?
Without saying anything, because we haven't spoiled
Oh,
it.
no, we did spoil
we spoiled
one.
yeah, we
They
spoiled
showed that
one
big dude
thing?
yesterday with the mace
didn't spoil
with
anything
the,
rules-wise.
the thingies.
Mechanically,
No, we did.
We did spoil one thing.
the struggle
that?
begins.
And that is what I think I'm most excited about. Is it's a drastically different concept in War Machine than you've ever seen before. And the word summon was used in that insider.
The word summoning was used.
So
That's true.
it's also been one of the most interesting things to balance about the faction.
That's true.
Yeah.
So as my last Primecast, I'm going to answer a question that we haven't officially answered, but I see
Ooh.
popping up all the time on Facebook.
I like it. Do it.
An Infernal Master is their version of a Warcaster or Warlock.
Boom.
Yeah.
Look at
So-
that.
And when you saw the Infernal model we showed in that preview, that giant freaking dude standing next to the smaller model, like I think it was on Primecast last month, we said, when you see an Infernal army, you will always know who their leader is and who you're
Yes.
trying to take out.
Yeah.
And that's what was meant by that, is like those models are impressive and
They're giant.
huge, right?
And that is the one that focuses on combat.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And it's
Oh, yeah, and its name is not Combat Master. That is
No.
a placeholder name.
That's
no,
a
no.
placeholder.
He's just going to come out. Oh, that'd be such a good name.
Combat Master.
Combat,
I feel
like-
Doug is cringing back here behind the camera.
We'll just go straight Mortal Kombat with it, Doug. We got Doug Seacat waiting for his segment next, so we're just going to say things that
I
are
don't
going
know. I don't know what's wrong with Combat Master as a name. I mean, it's a fine name. He's born, and they're like, "What shall you call him?" We shall call him
Wait,
Combat Master.
was he born? He comes from something beyond time and
Yeah,
space.
everything's born in some way.
No, I don't
They
know.
have to have a genesis.
It could be like a figurative birthing.
So,
No, I think
so
it's
the
a-
other
it's a
thing we
literal
haven't
birthing.
talked about
Literal.
What's up?
officially is people have seen 2 of the Masters now.
They've seen
3.
2, yeah.
3,
'Cause-
right?
No.
No, the first preview image is one of the Masters.
Yeah.
That's the one with the scroll
The
and the
scroll.
octopus.
Yeah.
That's the one that focuses on spells and that kind of stuff.
Like that was kind of like the
I believe.
arcane spellcasty.
yes, I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
there
then
was,
this one is the I get in your face and I beat you with these giant flailing
Mace
chain
things?
things.
Beat you to
But
death.
there's a third one that was shown at War Machine Weekend.
There- oh yeah,
Oh,
that
we did
was
show the
in
War Machine Weekend, yeah.
That was in the
The one with the crazy
prizes.
like helmet thing.
Yeah.
And the bustier.
Shu Ping in Twitch chat says, why is this
Boosty,
Pagani
eh?
and Shik's last cast? Because they're both leaving us. Press F. Press F for respect.
Have to pay respects.
But yeah, no, we've
We're
shown.
children of the internet, if nothing
We
else.
are.
So chic.
I've noticed. I've noticed.
Yes, no, there's definitely three Infernal Masters have been
Shown.
So
I'm
we
not
sh-
sure we ever said that the other 2 were Infernal Masters, but we just did, so
Boom.
there you go.
Well, that's what I was saying right now.
Thank you, chat, for all
And-
the Fs.
And Travis
So many
confirms that he's looking at those images right now, but I think Travis has etched those images onto some sort of glasses-like frame he can put in front of his face constantly. He's a little obsessed
like it.
with
Yeah.
Infernals.
Let's talk about it for a second. So Travis is one of our Infernals, and he's been a huge fan of the game forever. Travis owns basically every model made, and Infernals are. And when I say he's an Infernal, he's part of the Infernal group that's their name. Like,
the rules team on the
the
forums.
rules team that helps
Yeah.
us on the forums. And he is big into the actual Infernals in the setting. So as soon as he found out they were going to be a real faction, Travis went nuts. Travis's name, his user handle, is Dark Legacy. What are the chances, Travis and chat, that you think we end up putting a spell or a rule called Dark Legacy, and why are they 0?
What?
Why are they 0% chance we
I
would
don't
do
know.
that for you?
I think that's going to be like my parting request.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's going to be like the last thing that I want for War Machine Hordes is to have Dark Legacy.
this is like your long walk from Judge Dredd. You don't get one of those.
I'll put the Charlie Brown sad music on repeat.
It is
and
customary
slowly-
for this board to honor the last request of a retiring judge.
No.
Be good.
How would you feel if we didn't put Dark Legacy as one of the spells or abilities, but we did put Dank Legacy?
Nope, not in.
Not in. That will not be your long
out.
walk request.
That's not my request.
We'll see how it shakes out.
As I go out into the into the wastelands
Yeah.
to bring law to the
Yeah,
lawless.
to the lawless. One
people,
last time.
people in the chat are asking about Archons. Archons are related to Infernals. They're not Infernals, and we'll talk about those more later. 'Cause
Yeah,
that is
they're-
a super early preview.
They're
of
very
Oblivion.
much not Infernals, right? They're
Yeah.
I think they're
The polar
they're
opposite.
antithetical, right?
Yeah.
They're there to stop the Infernals.
yeah.
Doug's just like screaming into the mic that nobody can hear. He's like, "Stop it now!"
We
like
also
it.
showed off some of the infantry on the preview too, didn't we?
They're
We
very squiggly.
showed other concept images. I cannot
There
remember
was
which ones they
there
were.
was one of the beasts.
I believe the
Two
one of the
beasts.
heavy
Yeah.
war beast equivalents.
Yep.
Now,
Well, so we didn't
let's
have this pop up
specify
here.
real fast.
Yeah, we said war beast.
They're not war beasts. They
they're-
don't function like hordes.
They're called infernal beasts.
Sure.
Is what they are.
Well, that's also
but
possibly
they do
a
not.
placeholder name.
Yeah, they do not function like war beasts.
Yeah.
And masters do not function like either warcasters or warlocks.
Yeah, like the infernal beasts.
Thank you.
The infernal beasts don't have like a warjack grid, nor do they have a war beast spiral. So
Correct.
don't. I know
Super
Oz
weird.
said the word war beast, and I want to get that out real fast.
Okay, what
They're
what
not
I
war
meant
beasts.
by that was they are the battle group equivalent
Yes.
of the large fighting automatons.
Yeah. Yes. They have a new type of thing.
Yeah.
They're very awesome.
But there were other images in there. I can't remember all of them, what they were.
The light infantry.
The light infantry was on there
one.
too.
Yeah.
The crazy floaty,
They're all squiggly.
squiggly eye murder things. God, Infernals are gonna be such a weird
Yeah.
looking army.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Oh wait, Dallas is showing up.
Man,
what
y'all
is
should-
happening here?
You should see back. It's just a ton of
Well,
people.
we're just taking.
He's got
we're-
something
we're
in his
taking
hand.
too
But I
long.
thought that wasn't
carrying-
ready to be shown.
Oh, Dallas, no. What?
So you
Why
just,
are you holding
you just
it?
brought it in here and be like, "Here's this thing.
He's
We can't
taunting
show
us.
it."
Look how big it is.
Do we want
It's
to do a
very
size
big.
comparison?
No, you can't do
They
that
won't-
because you can't
You can
show
compare
it
it to
yet.
Hamilton.
I can kind of show.
Wait,
Yeah.
people have seen the
That's in it.
render
They've
on the
seen it.
internet.
But that's not the render. That's the pre-render.
Dallas
but
is
so it is
behind.
wrong.
Hold
on
on.
the table in front of you guys.
It is wrong.
It
This is a
won't-
cup. This is not an infernal
Yes,
Oz.
but it won't be.
This is apparently what the struggle is going to be.
It won't be distinct
I think-
enough
What's it?
to tell the differences.
But you gotta put it next to the cup.
You gotta put it next to Hamilton.
And well, you got to put it next to the
Yeah.
cup,
Put,
and
hold
you
on.
Closer to Schick.
and you probably have to put a paper behind
Closer
it.
to the people
All right.
at the table.
Closer to us on the table.
If you're gonna set it down.
I'm not gonna sit down.
Yeah, because
What are you doing? What is happening here? Tony, would you do another tiger crawl for us, please?
back farther, Dallas. The frame at the bottom of the page.
you
of
just
the
showing how
names
tall it
cutting
is?
off. I don't know why it. These cameras are not super high def enough to tell what the specific tiny differences are on that model.
Look,
now we are
effectively,
struggling.
His thingy came up to here.
His thingy.
His thingy.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I
his
believe
erect
those
thingy.
are
His infernal master.
I don't know what it
those
was.
are
He was hiding
It's
it.
an Infernal
spikes
Master.
of some sort.
It's taller. So Rikers Iron says it's as tall as a faction mug. It's taller than a
It's
faction
slightly,
mug.
well,
Yes.
it's slightly taller than a faction mug if you count his erect thingies on his back.
His
I like Ross Play's question. Can y'all answer that?
Which
one?
one?
This one. Is the size of the faction going to be relative to the Infernal Master we saw yesterday, or is that model an exception?
So you might not have heard Dallas on chat. The question is the size of the faction going to be relative to the Infernal Master we saw yesterday, or is that model exception? The Infernals are by far the largest and most impressive models in the army. There will be smaller things for sure.
Masters.
The Infernal Masters are
There's
the
a lot
largest
of
thing.
Infernals.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of Infernals.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Infernal
sorry, that's what I
small.
meant. Yeah.
The Infernal light infantry on 30
Or
millimeter
normal.
bases, and you can see.
You caught me, Dragon Pump. I
can see
love
that.
the word erect.
Yeah.
Especially because I can see the faces back there every time I say it, and they're like, this is terrible. I'm like, it's just true.
I wasn't bothered by that as much as the connection
Thingy?
of the word thingy right after it.
Look, I don't know what they are. He hasn't shown them to me yet. They're just erect thingies. They're very rigid, and they go straight up.
Well, I'm gonna leave. How about that?
What is happening?
So the real struggle is that
What's happening here?
He's going to show the.
You get to see his
Oh, they're
thingy.
like
Thingies.
shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
got it.
mean,
bladed shoulder pads.
Yeah, sort
they're-
of.
they're
They
pauldron
kind of look like a
spikes.
wrought iron fence on his back, but like
little.
spookier.
A little bit spookier.
Yeah, and they're attached to his shoulders.
Joshua Brown on Facebook says this is probably the most amazingly professional place in the universe.
Isn't it? I wish I'd brought the Green Man suit now.
So I believe our struggles.
I think it's over.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what we struggled about, but we
it
did
stopped.
struggle.
Yeah.
There was
That is correct. Apparently, this is everyone else not giving a shit because I came in determined that I was going to go out on a great note.
That's not
and
happening.
it has fallen apart so fast.
No. No way. Absolutely. You want the pig
I
back?
require my son back.
Your son. This is Matt Getz's son.
It's Getz and I's son. We adopted him at Adepticon.
That's true.
Yeah, I know.
You rescued him. As it
You
were.
rescued him. All right.
from the Lost and Found.
Goodbye.
Well,
Goodbye.
Mr. Pagugu,
Yeah.
Although
Well, this is not your final goodbye stream. You'll be on Dev Chat next
you
week.
will be on DevStrat. This is
chicken
just
eyes.
your
Yeah,
last
this is the-
last
yeah.
Primecast, last togetherness.
Press F.
Schick, also you
Have to pay
bequeathed
respects.
your noise guns to the company.
Oh yeah, I forgot to get those.
So
Somebody should run up and get those.
I definitely think the pig is another part of the noise.
Oh, he has to give up the pig?
apparatus.
You
So I
can't ask
think
him to
the-
give up his son.
I think the pig has to stay.
Hey Dallas, would you do me a favor? Just go up to my office.
Yeah, Hamilton lives in the studio.
Come on.
Okay, goodbye.
Look, if you're gonna come in here with nothing to do. Also, didn't you have a meeting? I don't even know what's happening.
Doug Seacat's here to bring
What's
order
up,
back.
Mr. Doug? Are you here to bring order back?
No.
Oh, perfect.
That was the most struggle-tastic struggle of wills we've ever
It was
had.
the final struggle, as the chat pointed out.
All right.
Welcome our first guest that's not leaving, Doug Seacat.
Hey, yeah, that's a good point.
So, what would you like to talk about today, Mr. Doug?
Well, you might think with all the big announcements
Yeah.
that I would want to get into the background of some of the enticing material that we were showing, but I actually have a different idea in mind, which is to talk about one of our most enigmatic and mysterious characters
Ooh.
in Privateer Press, which is Will Schick.
Oh, no.
Will Schick, the writer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
Let's
so,
do this.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact
Like a
that
rare white elk.
yes. I mean, Schick is one of our most reliable writers who has never once called himself a writer. And
True.
and so anyway, I felt like after so many years working together, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about some of the fine works that you have done
Sure,
over
yeah,
the years,
let's-
and kind of your somewhat bumpy but,
Yeah, it was-
dramatically compelling arc as a writer. But anyway, I do think legitimately Schick is one of those people that I can't even remember how we first started to make you write. Like it was literally like we were taking Schick captive and making him write things.
When you said the word, I
So-
don't remember when we took you and made you write. In my head,
That's what it was.
I read it as R-I-G-H-T. Like
Yeah,
when we
there
took
was
you
You're
that-
wrong.
and we made you write.
There was that too.
So, yeah, the
but I
first-
know. I think it was the Rorschach Bryan.
It was the Roche and Bryan thing that I wrote.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember exactly how that happened.
I think it was League Fiction, and I don't.
It
like,
was.
Like
It was.
one of the things that happens
Rotterdam.
around here is we're
Yeah.
always kind of behind the gun on writing, and there was always more to write than one person could handle or three people could handle, and especially with some of the League material, we were just like, is anybody able to hit keys and make words that
Can
that
anyone
happen?
construct a
Yeah.
sentence?
And
That's about right. Yeah.
and you know, I can't remember. I think we had a specific reason for wanting to have Rorschach and Bryan out, kind of in the Rotterhorn. I think it was a Rotterhorn League, maybe,
Yeah.
or
It,
something.
it was part of that. That was
Yeah.
the season for that year's league.
But I have to admit, I didn't go into it with very high expectations. We had not written anything about Rorschach and Bryan. I had seen some of Schick's writing, and there was a lot of enthusiasm there. It was kind
lot
of
of
a-
enthusi-
it was
not like
a-
this. No,
Not a lot of skill.
It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was like a rough stone
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
yet
It was a
been,
diamond that wanted
been
to shine
carved into a finer thing.
Mm-hmm.
And but the Rorschach and Bryan story was amazing. Like it was really good. Like maybe some of the sentences wouldn't technically qualify as sentences originally on the
Look,
first
just because
draft
I
that we
wrote
got.
sentences that were paragraphs,
Yeah.
that's
Uh-oh.
your problem.
But anyway, the thing I really liked about it was, you know, you immediately made it fun. You were capturing Bryan in a way that really stood out to me. Like you immediately were like, I'm gonna actually take Bryan's POV. I'm gonna take a War Beast POV, and I don't think we'd ever done that before.
Probably for good reason.
For good reason.
Probably for
But
good
I
reason.
always remember there's a scene where I can't remember the exact sequence of the story, but like maybe they're fighting Scorn or something, and
Like when Brian's perspective
yeah.
kicks in, it's like, so they just got done fighting Protectorate.
Yeah.
And like Rorsch
was
gets knocked
Protectorate,
out, and then all of a sudden it shifts and it's like Brian, and he's like moping around the battlefield because he can't find Rorsch.
but he's angry at the tents. Like
Yes.
like it was this
Oh, yeah,
moment
yeah.
where
And he finally
Bryan
finds
is
them.
like angry at the tents
Yep.
that are keeping him from his master. And
Yep.
it was just hilarious.
So that is one of my favorite stories you ever wrote, and my favorite part of it is when the Screwtator is burning
Ah, yes.
Rorsch, and he
Yeah.
wakes up to the smell
And
of
he's-
bacon,
and he
he's
likes
like,
it.
He like wakes up and he's like, "What is delicious? This
some-
smells great." He's like, "Oh, I'm burning.
yeah.
I smell wonderful."
I smell delicious. But yeah, so we totally embrace the whole idea that
Yeah.
the Faro are delicious even to themselves.
Right,
And,
they
and that's
eat each other
become
all
a
the time. I
canon
was like,
thing.
you're gonna wake up and you're gonna smell. I imagine that even cooked human flesh probably smells good
Well,
to
sure,
a point.
absolutely.
What the hell, man?
What?
Well,
it's just meat.
Humans are supposed to be
I
a lot.
understand that, like, after this we go to lunch, then
No,
you're gone. But like,
But
this is
humans,
live.
humans are supposed to taste like pig.
Exactly,
And
see?
so I think that is
Right here.
entirely accurate.
Yeah, no, that Rorschach Brine story was super fun to write.
But anyway, so to me, like, there was something right there from the beginning that I was like, okay, this is a guy that we can exploit the hell out of and have him tell all
I was
kinds
very
of
willing
stories.
to. You're like,
and
what else can you write?
and one of the things I really liked was, like, to me, I really meant it when I say, like, Will Schick, the writer, is like a different entity than Will Schick, the executive high up muckety muck, throwing his weight around, making
God.
people do stuff left and right.
You're making me sound so good right now. Thank you.
But Will Schick, the
Will
writer,
Schick the asshole versus
Yeah.
Will Schick the writer.
like
Two different
I
people.
may have some issues with Will Schick, executive director.
Wow. Let's
I'm
get it on the table, Doug.
but Will Schick, the writer, was always someone I loved working with, and I found him to be very, very humble and willing to do the extra work, and also just having like really good story instincts. Like there were so many ways that in your stories over the years, you really kind of surprised me with the approach you were going to take, because I always knew you were really into like the action movie stuff,
Sure.
80s cheesy action, what's
my
what
tastes
are your
are
weaknesses?
A little rough.
But then you would come back.
Weaknesses.
But then you would come back with these ideas that were really challenging the material. Like another one that really stands out to me is, I think it was another League piece of fiction where we had the Protectorate versus some Tharn, and there was some typical mayhem and carnage going on in the story. But to me, like, the real linchpin of the story was you had a pair of Tharn mates. Like, you had a mated
The
pair of Tharn.
chieftain and the-
The chieftain and
the
his
Hunt
mate.
Mother.
And like, their relationship was really strong, and there was like this tragic turn to the story, and like, they clearly cared about each other. It's the first time we've ever shown a Tharn that isn't like ripping out a heart and eating it, or that like actually cared about another Tharn in like a real relationship. And similarly, like, I remember a couple other things that were surprising, like, the first I think it was the very first piece of fiction we did for Tristan, right, was in
The Rites
Rites of Passage.
Yeah.
And it was funny because like, we had an outline and everything, and then Schick came back and he's like, I'm not going to even write the action sequence. Like, I'm just going to do all of the lead up, everything right before, and then we're just not even going to do the action sequence.
I specifically wrote that. I remember that because I was like, look, he's supposed to be like this, kind of a
sympathetic-
conflicted and
yeah.
sympathetic guy. And so every time we got to a battle, I would just fast forward past the battle.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know about
there's
this
no
battle.
way they're going to let me do this. And I totally did.
But it worked because, like, the battle would have been distracting. Like, I
Right.
mean, we all love action sequences. They're a lot of fun. But, like, sometimes you don't need it. Like, the drama was already there. The character focus was there. Like, you could imagine the action, but you didn't need to see it. And anyway, I just thought it was a great idea. and another one that really cracked me up when we were working on it was the conversion. The story of, for the Convergence of Sirius, where you have, like, I mean, it's a pretty horrifying story of, like, a person being converted into this strange, cult, and this strange change taking over them that basically turns them into a monster. And
so rude.
Didn't
poor
you do half of
Slumbers.
Machinations too?
Yeah, I did
like
half of
Machinations
Machinations.
was you and Aaron Rudell back and forth,
Yeah,
right?
I did. I think 3 of the 5
Yeah.
pieces out of that.
Because
That
you
was
did
really fun.
you did the Rutger and Terran
Yep.
scenes, and he did all the verse scenes.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, there's been some really good other stories with Rutger and Terran. I've done a little bit with them too, but my favorite Rutger and Terran stuff is the stuff that Schick did. And so anyway, I was roasting him a bit, giving him a hard time, but I do really think a lot of my favorite stories and some of my favorite character moments that we've had in the fiction have been things that Schick's come up with, and I do feel like we eventually took that crude stone
Got it slightly shiny.
shined it up a little bit, made it work.
I mean, to be fair, right? I came in and I had done a little writing in like college, and then obviously I think every gamer out there writes like their campaign fiction or whatever. But it was never in my head that I was going to write real fiction.
Sure.
And then I started doing it, and you guys were like, "Well, it's pretty bad, but we can probably make it better." and you know, that was fine.
You always took it well too. We'd be like, we need you to entirely rewrite
Yeah,
this.
and
And
it's
you'd
like,
be like, okay, sure.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you know, I went into it just being like, hey, at least they want to see something else.
Well, and you never pulled rank, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna rewrite that.
You just print it. No, I mean, from my vantage point, right?
Yeah.
Like you and Darla and everything in that team, like you were the experts. I was just
It was great.
You're like for hire monkey who was like typing words. I was like, something will come out good. I do really appreciate. I enjoyed the idea that I'd come up with these crazy like very askew things to do, like the Convergence story where
Yeah.
I went, well, we want to do something about Convergence. And I was like, what if we didn't talk about fighting or like anything at all, and it was just this story about this couple that gets put into the Convergence through certain choices, and then eventually we kind of throw it on its head, and the ending hopefully surprises. And makes you go, oh, right. But
You're like, this is pretty dark.
it's
Becoming a robot person might
was-
have its dark side.
And it was interesting. And the other thing about that was that I think that was the very first piece of Convergence fiction we did. So, because
Yeah.
the book came out later.
Yeah. Like we had written. I think that maybe there had been some small stuff, but we hadn't really gotten a chance to dive into.
Like they had made an appearance in
Yeah.
In the Nemo story.
And I think in the League fiction
Yeah.
maybe it might have come out before, but
Yeah.
to my mind, I just always really enjoyed that material, and doing that kind of collaborative work on the fiction is one of my favorite things about my job. And we've had a number of really good writers come through the building, including many of whom did not have writer in their job description, and we would never give them any slack. It wouldn't be like, I know you have a real job that you're supposed to be doing most of the time. It'd be like, now you've taken on this writing task.
Right.
You need to finish this, and I don't care what else you have going
your
on in your
deadline
life.
is your deadline,
Yeah.
sir.
You're getting an inside look into what it's like to be at Private Press as a writer,
Yes.
folks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
scary sometimes.
But
you know?
I mean, it was so much fun to be able to just
Yeah.
come up and to argue about different things, and it's
Yeah, we got into some good
we
heated
got into some
discussions.
good heated discussions, and they were great. And like, but I mean, I think for me, the kind of the culmination was being able to take stuff that you had done, and then like the Karchev Strakov rescue.
Oh
mission
yeah, that
thing.
was another one that I really
And you,
loved.
and you
that was
came
really
in and
good.
you were like, "All right, I want you to do this," and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like,
Well,
this is a pretty big deal, Doug.
Well,
Like,
and
you've been
that
working
was
on this forever."
That was a tough one because that one was one that there's been several times where
And
I've
then
had
you-
to hand off something I
Right.
wanted to write.
Well, and you admitted to me, you were like, so I'm giving this to you. And I was like, okay, well, what did you want? And you're like, I don't know. I just kind of put him there, and I didn't really have it figured out yet.
Well, yeah, I didn't have the
It's
escape
like, okay,
plan figured
so
out.
he's
I knew
just-
he'd come up with something.
He's down in the basement, and he's eating gruel. That's
He's eating gruel.
that's
He's
it.
disguised as a
Figure it out from there.
cephalix drudge.
Okay.
You know,
Oh, God.
perfectly reasonable situation.
Let's go from here.
I will say that your writing of Rex in Machinations is what made me fall in love with that Warjack. Specifically, there's a scene early on where Rutger tells Rex, if I need you, because they're trying to sneak through the Cephalix tunnels. He's like, hang back here, you're too loud.
Yep.
He's like, if I need you, we'll make noise. He gets in a fight in an operating room, this tiny little corridor, and there's like hundreds of drudges pouring in, and he's like got a choke point, and he's fighting them so much that like one point Rutger's like slipping in the blood of all the Cephalix, and he hasn't been using his gun because he doesn't want to make too much noise. And as he's got like this desperate battle of Rutger versus a swarm of drudges, he fires the last couple bullets in his hand cannon, and like at its most terrible moment, you're like, Schick's about to kill Rutger. You just hear like doom, 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 and Rex just comes running down the
Yeah, it
hallway
was
with
great.
bodies flying in every direction, and you're like, holy hell, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and so I think that somebody asked in chat, like, would we ever try to get you to do more? And I certainly would like to,
I mean,
regardless
I'm
of
gonna
where
have
you
some
go and
time,
what you
so,
do.
you know,
So I would love to see more fiction out of you, and certainly we'll still probably need some editing, but but less than was once the case, I will say. And so it's been a real joy and privilege working with you on those stories,
Yeah,
and I'm
well,
glad to see all of that come to pass.
I mean, likewise, Doug. It was like I grew so much in terms of my understandings of stories and structure and my ability to deconstruct things, like because of your guidance and like, well, I really like. It means a lot to me to hear that you loved the stories. The truth of the matter is, and I try to tell this to everyone who we talk to in shows and stuff. It's like everything gets touched by so many people that at
It's
the
true.
end of the day.
It's sometimes hard to remember what you wrote versus
Right,
what somebody else
and it's
wrote.
just like there's been moments where I tried to convey something. I was like, I have no idea how to do this, and you
Yeah.
would take it and you'd mold it, and I'd be like, well, that's exactly what I wanted. So damn you for
Well,
being able to do that.
Well, and on that note, like it just as a final little thing, I remember one of the ones that really cracked me up was a model entry for the meat thresher, and Schick wrote that and gave it to me, and basically was dogging it, and he's just like, "This is total crap. Like this is terrible." But this is the only thing I could come up with, and I read it, and it was great. I'm just like, "This is perfect. This
That's
is exactly."
where Pharaoh
I was
physics
like,
became
"Yeah,
an
Pharaoh
actual
physics." I was like,
thing.
"This is exactly what we wanted out of the meat thresher. I don't know what your problem is. It's great."
Well, you gave it to me, and I was like, okay, so what is this thing? And you're like, we don't know. How does it work? I don't know. And I was just like, fine. Then I'm just gonna lean into it,
Yeah.
and the Pharaoh have no idea why it works. It just I
does.
kind of like leaned into the idea that there's Pharaoh magic at work, and they don't
Sure.
understand it. It's just their belief makes it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that was fun. Well, thanks so much, Doug,
Yeah,
for making me
absolutely.
all emotional on the inside.
Yeah, that's my job here. To make people
You
emotional.
do. You do the emotions, and it was a joy to work with you, and I do hope that we get to collaborate again in the future.
Write up some nonsense. Write a
All right.
novel.
I-
We'll make it
write
happen
some-
somehow.
Write some nonsense. All right, I like it.
All right.
I like it.
together.
All right, thank you so much, Doug. All right, and with that, I think we're on to conventions.
It's time.
It's time.
It's
Conventions.
Time. It's time for conventions.
Conventions.
With the new convention manager, unlike the previous one, does not live with me.
That's true. That's true. You no longer can claim that you know all of the things now
Yes.
because you don't share a bed
Me and JR don't share a bed.
room,
We don't share a bedroom. We
dining room,
we have a.
kitchenette.
Why not?
Our house is 2-bedroom.
I've been to your house a couple of times, and I can neither confirm nor deny that is the truth.
I mean,
There are doors in your room, in your house.
yes.
You definitely share a kitchenette.
Yeah, we have a kitchen and a dining room and like the living room and the balcony.
Yeah, you share all that stuff.
Then there's 2 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms.
Logic dictates that if you share all those things, you also share a bedroom.
That's not how life works. You have been married for too long.
Maybe.
Sometimes people sleep. They don't sleep where they eat.
I mean, you can sleep in a V pattern. Like you just put your beds like this.
Well, you said we shared a bed, so that would be us with
Well,
like our
then I
feet
changed
touching.
it.
What if our heads touched?
I
And we
think
were
the
like,
censors probably make it more like Dick Van Dyke. Like
we have
the Dick Van Dyke
sensors.
show.
Are people recording us in our
Yes.
house?
Yes.
Did you put cameras in my bedroom?
Maybe.
Tony, did you help him set up cameras in my bedroom to watch me and JR sleep in a V pattern?
I could totally do it.
Can you, Tony?
Have that power.
Tony,
the answer.
the appropriate answer is I can neither confirm nor deny. What's up, John?
Or just, that's a power that I have.
Yeah.
I mean, that works.
Yeah. All right. So conventions. What do we have to look forward to? Where can I see you next?
So
In my travels.
a whole pack of us will be going to Las Vegas Open, which is February 8th through 11th, and that will be at the Bally's in Las Vegas. So, I mean, there's multiple reasons to go because Vegas, but the best reason to go is because Tyson will be there again, running all of the events for us, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any interest in competitive like tournaments, they have an Iron Gauntlet qualifier there.
They do.
Is it Champions this year? Or is it a Masters?
I think it's a Masters, but they might be.
Masters.
I'm talking to them. They might end up doing both.
Oh, they might have two. So there
different
might
events.
be two. So yeah, so if you want to do any kind of like competitive high level play, it's a place to go.
Well, and I mean,
they also
Hungerford
do
can
Iron Arena and
make
stuff
the
like
change
that.
on the fly because he'll be there.
That's true. You could.
Yeah, I can just approve anything I want.
approve
I can walk
anything
into the
you want.
caster draft and be like, "This is an Iron Gauntlet qualifier now." I mean,
mean,
it would discredit the Iron Gauntlet
as-
by doing so. But I mean,
As we've
you're
learned,
leaving.
yeah.
Life is chaos.
There's no
so-
chaotic overlord to throw his weight around, as Doug just pointed out, and just make choices.
You
willy-nilly.
have been a beautiful tyrant. I do love you. Like, don't make
Yeah, exactly.
make no mistake. I
am a very benevolent-ish dictator.
I am a
Dictator, excuse
better game designer because of you and the feedback you've given. Like, there's no doubt, but you can be an evil man sometimes. I still absolutely adore you, though.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair enough. So yeah, so LVO, 8th through 11th of February. I don't know which goodies I'll have just yet, but I'm working on that list right now. Other than the goodies that are Hungerford, Jordan will be there, studio
Nice,
painter.
nice.
So get there, hang out, and learn to paint
Well,
some
we're
cool
selling
stuff.
you at LEO.
I'm being sold
we're-
at LVO. Will you stop recording me in the bedroom, Tony? And can I stop being sold in Las Vegas?
And then I'll be there because, well, convention manager, so that kind of part of the gig. And then I'm pretty sure I'm going to bring Jack with us too, who is the best looking man in Privateer Press.
Jack's also
fight.
white.
But he'll be there. There will be some scrambles. There will be some competitive play that you guys already pointed out. There will be some casual stuff. I believe there's a Company of Iron Narrative League
Are we
Our
vending?
narrative event. Oh, we are definitely vending.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will have what goodie list we'll have.
Yeah.
Finalized yet.
I know the list not being finalized. I was making sure that we were vending. Period, though.
And definitely stay tuned to privateerpress.com over the next month or so because Tyson is writing a couple insiders about what he's got planned as far as new cables, events, all that other kind of good stuff.
Nice.
So LVO should be awesome.
LBL's a great show, and Reese, Frank, everybody that puts on the show, and then Tyson who runs the events, War Machine events of the show. Thank you to all you guys. You guys put on one of the best shows I've ever been to. Like when I look at my top shows that I like going to a year, and that if I didn't work in the industry, I would go visit. Like I would go to the shows as an attendee.
Oh, I mean,
LVO, and then also definitely the next one,
Adepticon.
Adepticon.
Like they're two. Just I'm a minis wargamer primarily, and they're two of the biggest mini wargaming shows you can go to.
Indeed. So speaking of Adepticon, but before we jump to that, I'm actually going to point out Gamma as well, which is it's a retailer show, but that happens in March as well. And one of the reasons that folks watching are going to want to pay attention to that one is much like last year where we were like, surprise, Monster Apocalypse, you will probably see some big news that comes out of that show. So stay tuned in March during Gamma, which is, again, retailer event. The retailers watching, see you there. But there should be some big announcements there as well, maybe some fleshing out of the things we saw in yesterday's Insider. And then, of course, moving to the end of the month is Adepticon, which is in Chicago. Well, close enough to it.
close enough.
Schaumburg.
I think they count
Schaumburg,
it. I think they
Illinois.
count it as Chicago.
And
And
they
do
should.
their thing.
Yeah, so you can get a casserole that they call a pizza. And that one is also going to be crammed with events. That one will also have Hungerford at it. You'll also get to see Oz there, myself, Dallas will be there, and a couple other folks from the studio will make their appearance and basically I think everyone in the studio that has been to Adepticon has now come and pestered me multiple times to make sure that they get to go. That is how much people here like that event.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson in chat says, more Riot Quest. Hopefully by the time that LVO and Adepticon are coming around, we can start showing you even more Riot Quest.
I would be very, very surprised if that was not the case.
So do we have dates on Lock and Load again, just for anybody thinking
Dates
about
on
going?
Lock and Load, the notes that JR left for me and that I believe he spoiled last Primecast was June 21st through the 23rd.
Okay.
That
And
sounds-
that'll be, once again, at the Hilton where we had it last time.
Yeah, that was a fun location, so I'm looking forward to popping in and see how far I can get without a badge. That's my new goal. I just want to see which areas
Just
I
how
can
many
access.
places you-
just
are you-
by-
Who's going to stop you?
But
I
you
will
have to
bring
wear
a
the green
clipboard.
suit.
Oh, I have to wear the green suit so nobody
Yeah.
can see me?
Yeah.
I don't know if that works.
Yeah, and a clipboard.
Who would stop you if you walked in?
My dream is that, at the big finale event for the Iron Gauntlet, you're trying to commentate, and I just show up with like the loudest bag of Doritos, and I'm just sitting there like just crunching them, looking like I'm lost and like I don't know what's going on.
Dude, no, that wouldn't get me. What you have to do is come up behind me and you have a VHS tape.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
It's got duct tape on it. And it just says like bedroom and
Oh,
then
yeah,
it
there we go.
has like a date on it.
like
And
this
you
now.
just drop it in front of me and just keep walking. Because that will unnerve me to the point where I will leave commentary. Find a VCR.
and plug it
and
in.
just watch it. And then I hope on that, I'm not going to say on stream what it is, but I had some ideas of what you would have actually recorded that
I
would be on
see.
there.
Old masters
I'm
of the universe
still
cartoons.
quite good friends with your roommate. I can just get bedroom footage.
I know! That's why it would be terrifying.
The only reason I didn't have to fight to the death for this position is because I'm also from Montana.
See, that's
That-
true.
that
That's
was-
true.
that was
It's
the
just
only
you
reason I
slotted
didn't have
right
to.
in.
I'm going to have to
Right
redo
in.
all the locks.
Beanie, beard from Montana.
Done.
All for you.
Done and done.
So yeah, once again, Lock and Load is going to be June 21st through the 23rd. I should have an announcement probably around next month as far as tickets, events, and all that other kind of good stuff. I'm going to try to do them at the same time so people can just do it all in one go.
Cool. Sounds great. All right. Anything else you want to lay on us before we take it to the outro?
That is all the stuff that I have full details on, but obviously we'll be there again at Gen Con.
Yep.
All that kind of good stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Gen Con's gonna be good. There's where your Riot Quest is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be sad because you'll failed me.
And also, as the
Did-
convention
haven't I
lord at
often-
this
Failed
point,
me.
that
You
means
have.
that I'm the only one that could stop
Annually,
you
at
from
least.
going into Lock and Load, and I'm not going to.
That's true.
So
Technically,
there.
somebody could stop me. They'd be
Well,
like, "Hey, where's your
well,
badge?" sir?"
Matt
And I'd
would
be like,
Matt would have to
"Ooh."
fire me.
Oh, yeah. There's
Because
a
then
whole
I-
series of events.
Because then I wouldn't be in charge, and then he'd have to either do it himself or
see.
deputize.
Okay, deputized. You
But
could
the
deputize
power I
somebody.
wield at Lock and Load
It is
supreme.
It is supreme. It is
Until
very
Matt or
supreme.
Sherry
Yeah.
says no.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Cool. Well, thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
We are on our way into the outro.
All right. John.
I'm just gonna stay here.
Oh, see Tony's spoiling the seat. The loons. The loons. All right. Hey Tony, you wanna
Kill the
tiger
loons?
crawl your way over? Yeah, you broke them. You wanna tiger crawl your way over here and
Every
hand me those,
moment
Tony?
of every moment of unprofessional behavior in this Primecast has been because of Tony
Look,
Konachek.
I don't know if you know this, but Tony is very unprofessional.
Horribly.
Which is funny because he's also
Tony, why are you
super
crawling?
Because I told him to crawl. Yeah, there we go. All right. So, this is my last Primecast.
It is.
This is my last stream
It is.
until I, come and win the Iron Gauntlet. Then I'll get on the stream again. But
That'll
you won't
ne-
let me talk.
That'll never happen.
It won't happen. No, it will never happen.
You'll never win the IG.
I think my best plan is probably to get Pagani to get back into competitive War Machine.
Yeah.
And I'll become like his Mac.
Oh yeah.
So I'll make him like jog behind my motorbike that I'll get.
Yeah.
He'll be like, what does this have to do with War Machine? I'll be like, keep running, you have another 5 miles.
Hold select to get your life back in between
Exactly.
rounds.
So we'll do that, and then I can be in his corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll just make this a thing.
Just yelling advice that
So-
may be nonsensical.
So one of the things that chat has asked for forever has been a soundboard. And while I cannot provide a true soundboard, those of you who watched the War Machine weekend streams in 2017 might have noticed that I was able to make some very impressive animal noises. Oh, hold on. There we go.
Which one's that? Is that the circle?
That's the circle one. So these were created by an amazing group of Canadian players who come down to War Machine Weekend every year, and they gifted me these Cadoran Mage Locks, or Bear Locks as we like to call them. And I have used them to basically great effect on streams where I felt like levity was needed. So
You've also used them to shoo people out of your office.
these are also great management tools. If somebody bothers me and I don't have time, I find that a nonstop loon noise from a bear's mouth will definitely drive them out of the office for 10 minutes.
Yes.
And they'll come back later. With that said, I wanted to bequeath them to our new hosts of Privateer Press Primecast. Hungy Prime is finally happening. He will be the official host, finally, of Privateer Press. And
I only had to kill Simon Berman and Will Schick to get it.
technically, the second one goes to, and these will be kept safe by our video producer Tony because they are your soundboard. But the second one goes to our new co-host, John Swankles. So you guys both have your soundboards now. Tony,
No.
you're gonna have to be very careful with these. Just keep them locked up. Don't let them abuse them. But you've got your soundboards. You have noises now. So I've provided the best soundboard that I can as I take my exit.
Okay. Speaking of which, there's so much stuff we're supposed to talk about. We're not gonna.
Oh, flipping it
throw it
over
away.
again.
Everyone,
throw it away.
it's been a decade that this man has held. A decade that Privateer Press has been what it is because of the hard work that you've put into it, dude. Like
Partially.
you've you've been a major part of it.
Let's-
You're not a single. No empire's a single man.
No, that's my point. I
Right.
certainly have been there at the Vanguard.
But you've been a massive part of it. You've shaped so many people. Like me and Pagani and Oz have all just become better at our craft because of you. Like, I cannot think of a person working here that has not literally benefited in their career by interacting with you on a daily basis and like wanting to come into you want to come into Privateer Press for the community, to make games, and for the coworkers. And there are certain coworkers that are higher on that list than others. Like Dallas is just a cheerful individual you like being around. And you are at the top of that list too. So we are all deeply saddened, as is the community is as well.
I see
Look
a
at
lot
all
of-
the Fs.
Look at
The
all the
Fs
Fs.
to see you go. So
Fs everywhere.
everyone, please
Well,
just give it up for
Thank you.
for Will
Thank you
Schick.
all. It has been my distinct honor and pleasure to be part of this crazy ride for the last 10 years. And I can't say enough good things about the community, about the games, about the company. I've met amazing people, both that I've worked with, that I've gotten to see at conventions, and I will definitely still be in touch and around. So with that, I think we will say goodbye and good luck ever forward. And Tony's giving me the 80s slow
the
clap.
slow
Tony,
The
stop
slow
ruining
clap.
it! All you do is ruin
With
things!
that, we will go ahead and see you guys on the next Primecast. I will be joining you guys in chat for the next one, and these two guys will be leading the way forward. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. We will see you again soon.
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime.
Hungerford, you ruined the harmony.